Alrighty, well, to get things underway, I'd like to invite Paul Cross to the stage. Paul is not only the international manager at Tabcorp in Australia, which of course is going to have a big weekend with the Everest and the Caulfield Cup, but Paul is also the co-chair of the World Tote Association since its beginning, and Paul is very proud to be able to open the first ever racing and betting event of the association. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Andrew and Maddie. Welcome to everyone here today. I must say, at last, isn't it great that our friends are finally here together, face to face? No more Zoom calls, no more team calls, no more Skype calls, although there's very few Skype calls today because they've gone out of business, I think. Instead, judging by the attendance here today, and Andrew's just said close to or more than 200 people attending today, and judging by the drinks that we held last night by the sponsored event from R&G and the UK Tote, there's no doubt in my mind that people are so glad to get back together again. It's been a trying time in many respects for a lot of us, but to actually see people and actually talk to people, it's been fantastic from where I sit. And having said that, whilst it's been a long time since we've seen each other, it's amazing how many of us look entirely different over the last 3 years. People have changed substantially. Some of us have got a bit older. We've tried to do this forum many times over the last couple of years. We tried back in October, back in June, but every time we tried to get this event organised, the impact of COVID struck us again and again and again. So it's truly fantastic for everyone to be able to get here today and see each other face to face. I think this is the first, or not I think, I know, this is the first forum we've been able to have since 2019. And prior to that, we had an organisation called the European Parimutuel Association, or EPMA for short, and Emmerich at the front here was part of the deal with the EPMA. I think just by demonstrating what we've got here today and seeing what's happening in our industry, the World Tote Association is having great inroads in how we deal with the industry on a global scale. Now, whilst we know we're sick and tired of the Zoom meeting and we're making sure that the camera is turned on and the background is blurred to make sure we hide all the mess at home, it's fitting for us to be here face to face. But we also know it's quite expensive to travel. And one of the reasons we made this event free today was a reflection of the cost that we've all endured to try and get here, particularly for those who have travelled vast distances across the nation. Hopefully today you've had plenty of time to network, and of course there will be drinks afterwards, after the forum, and we look forward to the speakers who are coming on. For those who don't know, the World Tote Association grew out of an idea about 5 years ago. There were two tote associations globally. One was the EPMA, and the other one was the Asian African Tote Association, or the AATA for short. About 5 years ago, we had the genesis of an idea. Given that both organisations had similar objectives, it'd be advantageous why not combine the group. And so in 2020, we were able to create the World Tote Association. And so we've been together now for just over 2.5 years. And what has impressed me since it started has been the enthusiasm that we've had. The enthusiasm shown by members, the enthusiasm shown by boards, and the enthusiasm being shown by the various working groups that we've got going as part of the association. One of those groups is called the Responsible Gambling Workshop. And it might be a dry topic for some, but I think many of you will understand how critical it is from a regulatory point of view that we start to understand what the world is doing. And one of the benefits of the World Tote Association is to have a group such as the Responsible Gambling Group, where we get the experts from each of the organisations who are members of the association to get together, to know each other, and then to use the information they've got to say to the regulator what's happening across the globe. So in Australia's case, in case of Tabcorp, we have our responsible gambling expert sit part of the working group, and they can report back to the regulator when they're asked about certain standards that are coming. They can quote examples from the UK, from France, from Europe, from the US, from Singapore, from Hong Kong, and that puts us in good stead when we're trying to work with the regulator particularly in this difficult time. Throughout these 2 years, we've had many webinars, and when we started the World Toad Association, we didn't have it on our radar that we'd actually have webinars. Why would we need webinars when we had our physical forums? But COVID changed all that. And thanks to the work of Florence and Harold, we were quickly able to pivot to move away from physical meetings to having webinars. And so far we've had 10 webinars during our 2-year period, covering topics such as Generation Z, developments in the racing channel and how it applies to betting, the digitisation of point of sales in betting shops, and the evolution of racing rules and their impact on betting. So today at the forum, we look forward to discussion and debate about so many issues confronting the industry. A big thank you to all our sponsors this afternoon, which Andrew has already gone through, but also a big thank you to our speakers. A lot of time goes into producing the effort that will occur this afternoon. It's not just a matter of turning up and saying something. Our speakers have put a lot of time into what they're going to talk to us about today. It'd be remiss of me to also say today with Michael Fitzsimon, who's our co-chair from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. This will be our last forum as a co-chair of the World Toad Association, and we welcome Alex Frost and Hans-Lord Skufhoff as the incoming co-chair for the association going forward. So unlike a flight where the pilot says, sit back, relax and enjoy an oh-so-expensive flight, don't sit back, rather listen and ask questions of the presenters throughout the afternoon. On behalf of the team at the World Toad Association, we do hope you enjoyed this afternoon. Thank you.